Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namo Vande Guru Padadandam Bhakta Vrinda Samanitam Sri Chaitanyam Prabhu Vande Nityananda Sahoditam Nandanandanam Vande Radhika Charanodayam Gopinath Samajuktanam Vrindavanam Manoharam Tavaivasmi Najivami Taya Vina Ete Viggana Terade Dhamnaya Vicharanatike Sama Sundara Sikanda Sekara Smiraha Murali Manohara Radhikar Sigamam Kripanidhi Sapriya Charana Kinkarim Samvidada Sanyatinam Vibho Prartahe Brahmanandana Vastu Mohana Tabati Vallava Janma Janmani Madhisari Priya Pranata Visavanandani Simukapchara Sadhuro Sakamada Radhika Vadate Likatastite Tam Bhajami Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Sri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama संत गुरु महात्मनु नित्य लीला वैष्णव विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमान भक्ति वेदांत श्री महाराज एवं नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर
Shati Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Shandaran Goswami Maharaj. So the lotus feet which remove all the fear are from unlimited Dandavat Pranam, and also my obeisances to Nitya Pravishnam Vishnupad. Astuttara Shati Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. And so the feet of all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis present here. Please accept my Dandavat Pranams accordingly. Now in the morning. Let's discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto. So 35th chapter. It's not coming properly. Nah. Put this microphone up. Use the stage microphone. Spoke about Yugala Gita. He's going to repeat what is the number exactly. of the chapter. Anyway, in the Bhagavata there are many Gitas described in the Bhagavata, many Gitas, songs. Especially Venu Gita is very special. Pranaya Gita also. Jugal Gita, Venu Gita. This one, yeah. Which chapter, Gurudev, are discussing? What is the chapter now? 35? Which canto? Dasham Skanda? 10th canto, Bhagavatam, chapter 35. Gurudev is discussing. We'll discuss now. Chapter 35 of the 10th canto. Srila Goswami Pan spoke to Parikshit Maharaj about Yugala Gita. Yugala Gita. Yugala Gita is like one Gita with a song with two verses. Yugala means also couple, right? Two double verses. So with two verses is one Gita, one song. It's called Yugala Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam there are many Gitas described in the Bhagavatam, many songs. For example, Venu Gita, Pranaya Gita. Loud. So if you don't know, just stay quiet, because somebody said something wrong and Gurudeva said, if you don't know, just stay quiet. Otherwise you destroy my bhav, my mood. So first, Venu Gita is coming. Chapter 21st of the 10th canto. Venu Gita. Then comes Pranaya Gita. After Pranaya Gita, it comes Gopi Gita. After Gopi Gita, then comes Jugala Gita. And after Jugala Gita comes Brahmara Gita. So in the 10th canto. It's all in the first part of the 10th canto. No, sorry. First chapter to 49 chapter of the 10th canto is called Prarabdha. First part of the 10th canto. After that, chapter 50 from the 10th canto onwards into the chapter 90 of the 10th canto. It's called Uttarabdha. Uttarabdha means the last portion. So there are two parts of the 10th canto. One is called Prarabdha, first chapter 49, and another one, Uttarabdha, 50 to 90. So first you have to remember the name, Prarabdha and Uttarabdha. So there are 90 chapters in the 10th canto. You should know, there are 90 chapters in the 10th canto. Especially, all these Gitas, they are actually in the 10th canto, majorly. All the songs. So, except these 5 Gitas I mentioned, there are actually other Gitas as well. For example, Rudra Gita, Mahishi Gita, other songs in the Bhagavatam. But these 5 Gitas I just mentioned, like Venu Gita I mentioned, and then Pranaya Gita, and then Gopi Gita, Jugala Gita, and after Brahmara Gita. These 5 Gitas are very important. Because the gopis are feeling this purva raga so much in their heart, right? So they are actually so eager to meet with Krishna, so eager. In the transcendental world, Purvaraga is of two kinds. Purvaraga. One is before the meeting of the hero and heroine, they feel this raga, this strong attachment. It's called Purvaraga. And then after the meeting also, one again feel so much eagerness to meet each other again. And that's called also Purvaraga. So there are two kinds of Purvaraga. One is before the meeting, another one is after the meeting. But in the material world, the Purvaraga between hero and heroine so the hero and heroine, they are eager to meet each other before the first time they see each other. This is Purvaraga in the material world. But actually, the gopis, because their prema is always Nitya Neva Man Man, means whenever they see Krishna, they love him and see him in a new way all the time. And it's not possible in this world. Ever fresh, newly formed. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. So for Krishna it's possible to always appear as a new form and ever fresh, new beauty. In the material world, it's not possible for a hero and a heroine. Like for example, they think, oh, I never seen him before. Like it seems like I've never seen him before. This is not possible in this world. When you see someone and you think like, oh, now he's more beautiful and more ever fresh again. No. This is only possible for Bhagavan Krishna. In Krishna's pastimes, that's possible. For example, the gopis are thinking, I've never even seen Krishna. I've never even seen Krishna. Srimati Radhika, she just came out of the Kunja where she met Krishna. And then, when she comes out of the Kunja, Lalita is next to the door outside the Kunja. And Lalita Devi asked her, hey Radhe, you've just met Krishna, right? You just were with him. So tell me about his beauty. I want to hear from your lotus mouth about some of the glorification of Krishna's beauty. I want to hear. Lalita asked Srimati Radhika, hearing this, Srimati Radhika started crying. And Srimati Radhika said, but I've never even seen Krishna until now. I have never had his darshan. How is this Shama Solana? Hey Lalita, if you have seen him before, please you describe to me how he is. Because I've never even seen him. How is he? How is his eyes? How are his eyes, his ears, his nose, his lips, upper lips, lower lips? You, please, you tell me. You tell it, describe it to me. Lalita Devi said, hey, oh, mad woman, you're crazy, you just met him. Srimati cried. No, I've never even seen him, I've never even heard about him. How is this Shama Solani? How is he? Once, just tell me, describe it to me, please. And Chandidas and Vidyapati in Bengali verses, they describe so beautifully. Maybe I've heard this. Shyam Keval Sunayan Shamanam. Srimati Radhika is saying, Shyam Keva Sulaina Shamanam. Soy Keva Sulaina Shamanam. What to speak of seeing him? If once somebody recites the name of Krishna, the name of Shyam, Soy Keva Sulaina Shamanam. When this name comes in my ears and goes to my heart, I cannot control myself. This name is so sweet. When it goes inside my ears, my heart becomes so restless. If only this name is so sweet, imagine how is his form. Someone has a beautiful name, and then maybe that person is not the handsome, just the name, but not the person himself. Some person has a beautiful form, but his name is not necessarily sweet and beautiful. In this world, everything is like opposite, isn't it? Example. Suppose one person's name is Padmalochan, means lotus eyes. Lotus eyes. Padmalochan means someone who has the eyes like the lotus. But maybe that person doesn't even have eyes. You give the example, Surdas, like a blind person. So the person doesn't have eyes, but the name of the person is Kamalalochana, lotus eyes. But for Bhagavan, it's not like that. Exactly how is his name is, how his beauty, his form, his qualities, with him is like that. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, everything is one according for Krishna. His name, pastimes, his form, his quality, his beauty. So Srimati Radharani is saying, I've never even seen his form. Soy Keva Sulaini Shamanam. Why? What is the sweetness inside his name? So much sweetness. So imagine how his form. So this is possible for Krishna. Huh? Because for Krishna, his name, pastimes, his beauty, his qualities is one. There's no difference. So Abhinatat Namanameno means no difference between God and his name. So the fan disturbs me. What I was talking about? Oh yeah. So Krishna has so many beautiful names, and it's exactly how his names are, his qualities, his beauty, his himself. So Purvarag, so much eager, longing before the first meeting. So Rati already manifested, but before the meeting, before having this darshan, it's so much eagerness to have a darshan. It's called Purvarag. Purvarag. Do you understand? First understand what is Purvarag. Purvarag, what is Purvarag? So much utkanta, eagerness to see him before the first meeting, before the meeting. Before the meeting, so much eagerness to see him. That's called Purvarag, so much eagerness to before meeting him. So this is like a viraha, one kind of separation. So there is Purvarag, which is before you seen him, before you met him first time. So that's natural, normal. And second kind of Purvarag is that the gopis, even after the Milan, the meeting, they also feel Purvarag. Like example, I just gave example, Srimati Radharani saying, I've never even seen Krishna. Srimati Radharani saying, Hey Lalite, if you have seen Shyam Solane, you tell me how he is. Tell me how he is. How is he? Tell me how he's sweet, his sweet voice, song with the flute. And then Lalita said, you're crazy? You just met him. How can you say that? Oh no, I've never seen Shima Sundara, says Srimati Radharani. Then even having darshan, I feel like I've never seen him. Why? Because Krishna has a special quality. Which one? Krishna manifests always as a Nava Navayaman Rup, means ever fresh, ever beautiful form. Ever fresh, newly beautiful form. Krishna has this speciality. A normal hero, a material hero, heroine in this world, according to this material shastra, this is not possible in this material world for hero and heroine. Like after you see one time your beloved, you don't have desire to see again. Okay, maybe 2, 3 times, 4 times. Then after you cannot anymore. Anything in this world, after seeing one time, you don't have any more desire to see. True or not? But in the transcendental world, always manifest in an ever fresh, newly form. This is one stage of anuraga, actually, anuraga. So the raga already manifested. Raga means so much attraction. This is called raga, deep attachment. So what is raga? Just like our senses naturally, they always go automatically to the object of the senses. This is raga. So what is the definition of raga? For example, all our senses, they naturally go, spontaneously they go to the objects of the senses. For example, eyes, ears, touch, like all our senses, we don't need to invite them to go to object of the senses. For example, eyes, they have the normal nature to go to the beautiful form, and the natural spontaneous tendency of the ears is to always get attracted, go to the beautiful sounds. Like your ears doesn't like harsh sounds or harsh words, no. So, and for example, your nose always goes automatically accept the sweet smell, good fragrance. If there's a stinky smell, automatically you want to, like shut your nose, like not to feel that smell. What about the touch? Your skin, touch, cold, hot, soft. Automatically, your skin accepts when to feel those things. In the time of winter, cold, what does your skin want? Your body wants some warm blanket, and in the summer, you want some refreshness, right? Something cold. That's natural for the senses. Spontaneous nature of the senses. So this is called raga. First, let's understand what is raga. Let's understand what is raga first. In the same way, in the transcendental world, because our body is transcendental, chit sharir in the spiritual world, like the gopi's body is what? Chit sharir, transcendental in the spiritual world. So her sensors are also chinmaya, spiritual. They also have like these organs like eyes, nose, ears, skin, and they all transcendental. For example, Krishna is called what? Satchidananda Vigraha. So in the same way, the gopis, how is their body? Satchidananda. Beneath the gopis, their body is transcendental, just like Krishna's. Because they are what? One manifestation of Krishna. Krishna himself, to relish this, his own rasa madhurya, he manifested Srimati Radhika so that he could relish himself his own sweetness. And then Srimati Radhika, to give happiness to Krishna, she manifested bhavas, and each bhava is a personified gopi. All these gopis actually, they have manifested from Srimati Radhika, and they are non different from her. Srimati Radhika, non different from Srimati Radhika, each gopi. So all these gopis, they are non different from Krishna. Nija Rupa Taya Kalabi, this verse from the Brahma Samhita saying, each gopi is a manifestation of one bhava of Srimati Radhika. Krishna, he wants himself to relish his own rasa madhurya, sweetness of the moods inside him. So in this way, there's no harm. Example, imagine a boy playing with his own shadow. Imagine that. So the shadow belongs to his own body, right? It's his own shade. Imagine, like a child is holding, for example, something in his hand, like a toy, something, and then he starts playing with that own shade and shadow, with his own shadow. So in the same way, Bhagavan Krishna, he's doing pastimes with the gopis. Whatever he's doing with the gopis, it's actually the gopis who are the gopis. They are Krishna himself. Gopis are Krishna himself. Another example is given, just like, for example, when you bathe early in the morning, when you bathe, you, with your left hand, you massage and put soap and oil in your right arm, isn't it? You use one arm to clean the other arm. With the left you clean the right, with the right hand you clean the left hand, like this. And there's no problem, no harm, because it's all yourself. So in the same way, Krishna is performing pastimes with the gopis. Actually, these gopis are actually no different from Krishna. So if you have the realization of this tattva, your body, your mind will never be agitated. But if you cannot understand this philosophy, then you feel agitated. Because if you don't have enough tattva again, knowledge, your senses become so weak. And your mind also becomes weak if you don't have enough tattva siddhanta, knowledge of the scriptures. Do you understand? Mind becomes weak and also senses become weak. And because the mind and senses become weak, you go for asat-trisna, desire for enjoyment, sense gratification. So there are 4 kinds of anarthas: Swarupa Brahm, Siddha-Darbhalya, asat-trisna, and aparad. Then you go in these directions. So I'm saying that because what is rag? Coming back to what is rag? The same rag, sneha, man, pranay, rag, anurag. So this raga becomes even more thick and condensed and manifest as anurag. Anurag. 2 meanings of anurag. You see Krishna all the time, ever fresh, newly formed. This is called anurag. Anurag also means because it's following behind the rag. So it's called anu, means after. So those bhavas and activities which are coming after the rag, it's called anurag. Third meaning of anurag is, there are 2 symptoms of anurag: sparana sneha anubandhanam and darshane atriptata. Always unsatisfied to see your beloved, because you want to see him again and again. So 3 meanings of anurag. Will you remember the 3 meanings I just said of anurag? Anurag, what did I say? Meaning of anurag, come on. Following behind the rag, it's called anurag. Anu means after. Like anuja. Anuja means younger brother, for example. Second, what did I say? Another? Darshane atriptata. And parasparana sneha anubandhanam. Parasparana sneha anubandhanam means the affection they have. They bind each other by their love and affection. They are so tight and bound to each other because of their love and affection. Even for a second, they don't want to be apart. And if they become separated for some time, they die. But in the spiritual world, there's no death. So what happens is they just faint. They faint. So now let's enter Jugala Gita. So taking two verses, it's being described like every 2 verses. So this verse, the verses of the Jugala Gita look like the verse from Venu Gita, but they are a little bit different, okay? So chapter 35, 10th canto, Jugala Gita. So, like I mentioned, there are 2 kinds of Purvaraga. Before the meeting, so much eagerness to see Krishna and be with him, that's called Purvaraga. And after the meeting also there is Purvaraga according to Shastra. This is for Krishna and the gopis. In the spiritual world, for the material world and the heroines and heroes of this world, described in the Shastras, material books and things like that, Purvaraga doesn't exist after the first meeting, only before. Okay? So the second kind of Purvaraga is only in the spiritual world. But it's possible for in the spiritual world. Because, Gurudeva already explained, Krishna always shows himself in a new form. So even if you already seen him, you think you never seen him before. But in the material world, it's not like that. That's why this kind of Purvaraga doesn't exist here, only the first one. So in the Jugala Gita, the Purvaraga of the gopis is described, but the Purvaraga after they already met him. So Jugala Gita is that. So Benu Gita is before the meeting. So all the gopis, they are already mature. They are mature. And the parents, the siblings, all the family members of the gopis, they say, gopis, look, now you're already grown up, so you should not meet with Krishna. When you're like very young, like a child, then it's okay to mingle with Krishna. But now that you grew up, then you have to be separated. You cannot just mingle anymore because you're already grown up. So because the superiors have given this instruction, the gopis, they are suffering so much in separation from Krishna. And then all these gopis, they're in their own houses, with their own groups, with their own like similar friends, and they are glorifying the form, the beauty of Krishna, his qualities. So this is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 21, which is the Venu Gita, the song of the flute. This katha is so beautiful. Itam Saradam. As soon as the autumn season comes, when the autumn season comes, just like the water of all the ponds and rivers becomes so clear, because in the time of the rainy season, all the ponds waters and rivers waters, they become so like full of dirt because of the mud and of the rain and things like that. So it becomes really dirty. But when the autumn season arrives, also there's no more rain, the sky becomes very clear, and at the time all these waters of the ponds, they become very clear, the water of the ponds and the rivers. All the dirt, the mud, goes to the bottom of the rivers and ponds, and then the water of the ponds become really clear. Even if you drop a coin, you can see the coin going to the bottom. Shukadeva Goswami Pad was described, after describing the rainy season, he describes the autumn season. What is the meaning? Also, from the point of view of a sadhak, when the sadhaka performs bhajan and sadhan, then so many anarthas are in his heart. Lust, anger, and so many things like that. By doing sadhan and bhajan, immediately, Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivriti, Nista, Krishna, and Aparad. And then, Duskriti Utanartha, Sukriti Utanartha, Bhakti Utanartha, and also Aparada Utanartha. All these anarthas are there. So all these anarthas are just feces. This is a stinky thing, like stool. Oh, and this is food. Like the difference. If you think that the food is feces, stool, and the stool is food, and the food is stool, that's not gonna be good. You have to understand what is a stinky thing, bad thing, and what is good fragrance, a good thing. But in the conditioned stage, we think that a stinky thing is a good fragrance thing, and a good fragrance is a stinky thing. Do you understand? Srila Bhakti Pragya Keshava Maharaj, he wrote that. He's mentioned about that. Example, a kid. He doesn't know what is good or what is bad. He doesn't know. In the same way, we think that a stinky thing is a good fragrance thing, and vice versa. So if you don't have the discrimination power, but then if you have, you can slowly progress after you have the discrimination. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada gave an example about that. There was a guy who used to, fisherman. He used to fish the fish and sell them in the market. And then he went to the market bringing his fish in a basket, okay? And then on the way back after the market, at that time really like it was already night and he was not home yet. So he thought, okay, where will I spend the night? So then he saw a beautiful garden, a park, beautiful flowers blossomed in this park. Do you understand? Beautiful and fragrant flowers were blossoming, like a Madhavi, Malati, Jasmine. Many fragrant flowers were in this garden. And this guy thought, oh, I'll spend the night here. There are so many beautiful flowers blossoming. Like, Rat Kirani is like the lady of the night. Have you felt that the fragrance of these flowers? Small, like looks like white flowers. They're so fragrant, the lady of the night. It's very fragrant flower that blossoms at night. So he lay down, but he couldn't fall asleep. He lay down on that garden, okay, but he couldn't fall asleep. No way he couldn't fall asleep. He was thinking, oh, what to do? I am unable to fall asleep. Then, you know how he was able to fall asleep? He took the basket full of that stinky smell of the fish and put next to his face, and then he was able to fall asleep in the middle of that stinky smell of fish. Why? Why is that? Because his habit is always to stay in the stinky environment. So he doesn't even like the good smell. But if one day he relishes the good smell and the good fragrance, automatically one day he'll be able to give up this bad fragrance, the stinky smell. So we must have this discrimination power. Until you got this discrimination power, you cannot actually progress in the path of bhajan. Try to understand that. That's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, with beautiful stories, he told us all these things. Anyway, continuing the story. So only the introduction. But it's also necessary. Otherwise, what are you going to understand about the katha? You have to know what is a stinky smell and what is a good fragrance. If you don't have realization about that substance, you cannot actually relish. For example, one person is doing kirtan, but he doesn't know any knowledge about sounds and things like that, and he will not enjoy, appreciate the kirtan. Externally he's saying something, but if you don't have real knowledge about that thing, it's not possible to appreciate. So when you do kirtan at the same time, you have to also know the meaning of what you're singing. Then you feel happiness. So Srimati Radhika herself is going to meet with Krishna. This song describes Kalayati Nayana. So Purvarag, Srimati Radhika is going to meet with Krishna. So which kind of Naika Bhav, heroine mood is this? Abhisarika Naika is describing the song. So but just by doing the kirtan, okay, nothing, okay, maybe people are enjoying or people are liking your kirtan and things like that, but you are not understanding what you're singing. So you have to understand what is in the song. So Srimati Radhika is feeling Purvarag, and in which Naika Bhav, heroine mood, she's feeling? Abhisarika Naika, Srimati Radhika, which is going to meet with her beloved. When she's going to meet her beloved, Abhisar, it's called Abhisarika Naika. There are 8 kinds of Naika, heroine moods. Abhisarika, Utkantita, Vaskasajika, Sadhana Bhartika is the last one. So there are all the moods of these heroines, 8 moods. Then, so now let's go into Jugala Gita. I mentioned Venu Gita. Okay, Krishna plays the flute and how he attracts everyone's hearts. He mesmerizes everyone. And what the gopis are doing, what? They are in their own house, sitting down with their own similar friends, like-minded friends. They're in their house. Why? Because the superiors, the family members, they didn't allow them to be with Krishna anymore. Oh, from now on, you cannot anymore play with Krishna and be with him, because now you've grown up. So you have to be in a separate place. Gents in one side and women in the other side, right? Everybody is sitting together. No. According to the Indian culture, Vedic culture, no, we shouldn't do that. Men should be separate from women. So, now the gopis, they are sitting in their houses, but because they have so much anuraga, deep attachment for Krishna, because this anuraga they have for Krishna is actually spontaneous, sahajata, sahaja gopi prem, nahika bukam. This prem is spontaneous, innate, inherent. This prema that the gopis feel for Krishna is inherent, like it's a natural tendency of their heart. Sahaja gopi prem, it's never come, never lost. Kama is lost is like the darkness, and prem is like the blazing sun. Wherever Krishna is there, Maya cannot come. Krishna is like the sun and Maya is like the darkness. Wherever Krishna is, Maya cannot come there. Krishna is compared to a blazing sun. And Maya is like the darkness. Do you understand? The sun stays with whom? With the rays, its rays, correct? The sun is always with its rays. The rays, Kiran, is a female, and Surya, which is male, is a... So Surya, sun, is like a male word, and the rays, Kiran, is a female word. So they're always together. But the Surya, the sun, also goes with whom? He also goes with with the night, which is also feminine. The sun is always with his dear beloved, with his beloved. Try to understand a little bit what I'm trying to say. Means Krishna and the gopis and Krishna. There's no difference between them. They always stay together. But from our material point of view, we make this difference between men and women. Krishna is a male and gopis are female. But gopis are not female and Krishna is not male. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, he's the enjoyer. So in the Venu Gita, when Krishna plays the flute, gopis are in their house and they are expressing their bhavs. That's the Venu Gita, Song of the Flute. Chapter 21st of the 10th canto. Shukadeva Goswami Pad described Venu Gita. So it's also described Sarat Kal, autumn. And later on, Shukadeva Goswami will also describe the Rasa Lila, because 21st chapter is Venu Gita, and Rasa Lila starts in which chapter? Which chapter starts Venu Gita? Rasa Lila. Chapter 29 to the 33rd. It's called Rasa Panchadaya, the 5 chapters of the Rasa Lila. Chapter 29 to 33. Chapter 21 is Venu Gita, okay, Song of the Flute. Correct? And then, from chapter 29 to the chapter 33rd is the Rasa Panchadaya, 5 chapters of the Rasa Lila. So the gopis feeling Purvarag in their heart. How? They are attracting Krishna with their prem. So now we're entering this katha here. Jugala Gita. Venu Gita and Jugala Gita, they seem like one. They seem the same. Like the same. Krishna plays these flutes, Venu Dwani. So there's a Venu, Murali and Vamshi. 3 kinds of flutes. Venu, Murali and Vamshi. There are many kinds of Vamshi, of flutes. In different Rasa Shastras, scriptures that speak about Rasa, the different flutes are described. Actually 5 kinds of Venus, flutes according to Shastra. 5 kinds of flutes according to the Shastra. So depending on how many holes there is in the flute. Vamshi is the one which has... Vamshi kitna prakar ka? 17 fingers and 9 holes. 17 fingers long. And how many holes? 9 holes. 9 holes and 17 fingers long. This is Vamshi. So now the 10th. Now the other one, Mahananda, is the other kind of flute. 9 finger long and... So now another one, 12 holes. No, so 12 finger long. It's called Akarshik. Another one, 12 finger long and 6 holes is called Benu. Okay. So Venu Madhurya melts the heart of everyone. Sarva Bhuta Manohar. So one's flute attracts the heart of everyone. The other one's only the heart of the gopis. So it will take time to describe all that in details. If you want to know more, read this book, Krishna Prema Tarangini. Which chapter? Chapter 26. Krishna Prema Tarangini book. It's described about all these in details. You can read if you want to know more. There's one Rishi called Matanga Muni. He also described 4 kinds of Vamshis. One is Mahananda, Nanda, Vijay and Joy, 4 kinds of flutes. Just remember the names. If you memorize the name, it's good. If you cannot remember, it's okay also. Mahananda, Nanda, Vijay and Joy. 4 prakar ke Vamshi. Then also, in the same book, is also described. So, Mahananda is the one which is 10 finger long. Another one, 11 finger long, Nanda. Another one, 12 finger long, Vijay. 14 finger long is called Joy. So the different kinds of flute and their length. Venu, Murali. So with all these flutes, Krishna manifests his beautiful pastime. Especially when you say Venu, the length of the Venu is 12 finger and it has 6 holes. 6 holes. And the other one is two hands, Murali, 2 hands length. 2 hands length. Murali 2 hands length. 2 palms. And the hole in the next to the mouth and in the end. And 4 holes. Varnamai, gold, but Vamshi is made with bamboo. So the Vamshi described in the Bhagavatam is manifested from bamboo tree, okay? That's why the gopis say, oh Vamshi, which kind of austerity did you do that you're always in the middle of the lips of our beloved Krishna? When Krishna plays the flute and keeps you on your lips, on his lips, right? When we see this, we feel so jealous because you're always in the lips of Krishna. Because the Vamshi is a male, Purush. So generally you have jealousy from other women. You feel so much burning. Externally you say, oh, you sing so well, but in your heart, you're feeling the burning, incomparable burning. No one in the past or in the future felt that burn as you feel. True or not? Like women feel so much jealousy towards each other. Women feel so much jealousy and envy towards each other. But men, they feel this hatred, this anger or hatred towards each other is different. Actually, it seems like a synonym even, but they're different a little bit. But for the gopis here is opposite, because gopis are women, right? But the Vamshi is a male. So when they see the Vamshi, they feel both the envy and also hatred. So the gopis are saying, you are male, and how are you taking the nectar from the mouth of our beloved Govinda? So externally the gopis are praising the flute, saying, whoa, wow. When you're in between the lips of our beloved Govinda, it's just like you're sitting on a throne of a king. Gopis are saying. So externally the gopis are praising the flute, but in their heart they're feeling so much jealousy and envy, and because the lips of Krishna, upper lips and lower lips, are just like two cushions. When the king sits on the throne, there's always two big cushions next to him, both sides, like a cushion. So the lips of Krishna, upper and lower, just like two cushions. And the lips of Krishna are so beautiful and very reddish, so, it looks like you're in the middle of two lotus petals. So you're so lucky, gopis are telling to the Vamshi. Not only that, our beloved Govinda is actually massaging your feet. He's serving your feet. Because when Krishna plays the flute, the fingers of Krishna are like slowly, like massaging the flute. Krishna is serving your feet, like massaging your feet. Not only that.